it is time for me to rip the band-aid off of one of the tougher topics or areas of writing and publishing on Wikipedia, and that is addressing misconduct. So this video is about addressing misconduct on Wikipedia, specifically the type of misconduct that is vandalism. So that's the very brief intro. How is vandalism misconduct? So that's kind of the next, I'll put timestamps for these chapters, as they're called on YouTube these days, for this breakdown of misconduct, vandalism, which is a violation of consent type of misconduct. So I'm going to start by a couple of in-person examples. So when I was working as a teenager, an El Salvadorian man violated my body with a marker, and I am Norwegian, and so that's a form of vandalism. I did not consent to him marking my physical body with a marker, and he did it anyway. So that's a form of physical vandalism that I have personally experienced in the workplace. Another example is a TV show, a reality TV show I watched at the time and continued to watch for over a decade, Bravo's Top Chef. And there was a scene on the show where a couple of the competitors were at the residence where the competitors for the show were living, and a competitor named Marcel was physically assaulted by an African-American competitor. Marcel was of European descent, and the African-American pinned him and was trying to shave his head without his consent, and Marcel stood up for himself and drew a whole lot of hate because he did not consent. And then, which is pretty common, especially with things like just these days. And so that was, approximately, at least in my case, in the workforce example, approximately 13 years ago. So approximately 14. And then in Africa, another form of vandalism was, Marcel did not consent to somebody physically attacking him and then trying to shave his head without his consent. He cared for his hair, as most men do, and most squirrels do. Okay, it's a natural thing. I care for my hair. I shave it myself. Yeah. Is it in part so that people, African Americans, don't do to me what they tried to do to him, Marcel? I don't know. Safety in that sense. And then another example is, I think, kind of the most, if one wants to try and understand being raped without being raped, it is a violation of consent type of misconduct, and it is vandalism, right? So I was raped in Africa multiple times by the same person, and I did not say yes. I did not consent to them doing what they did to my body. Okay, and that was vandalism. How they marked my body. They left physical scars that I have to this day, kind of thing. So yeah, it's I did not want my head bashed against a nightstand. I did not want the bruises. I did not want this permanent scars, or permanent scars, emotional and or physical, on my body. And I guess in my mind, where I don't know where emotions are. Are they nebulous like a cloud? Point being, it's a violation of consent, and it was vandalism to my body. And so that's kind of the core of what rape is violating somebody's consent. So that happens on Wikipedia, the violation of consent. And so I'm going to talk through 3 types of violation of consent vandalism form. So this is misconduct on Wikipedia, and kind of describe the vandalism. Some of it's pretty, once one understands it becomes easier to identify misconduct. However, because people do not have to state their intent with their edits, I'm on year 4 of editing. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. I'm on year 4 of editing and publishing on Wikipedia, and it's taken a while to be like, no, this is definitively misconduct. So I'm gonna go through 3 examples. I have their names, and I'm gonna preface it with predator alert, because I am uncertain as to whether these people have escalated their attacks on my pages to the corresponding people in real life. So up first example is user Tony1. This is editor paid by Katie Ledecky. So this person is targeting me because Katie Ledecky supposedly set a world record in like October, November, end of October, beginning of November in 2022. And the competition she was at ended on 5 November 2022, and this person started attacking my pages on 8 November 2022. So it was a very rapid turnaround of attack the new pages she's made for certain type people that Ledecky wants what they have kind of thing, and wants to end their career because she wants to take what they have. So this person has vandalized 7 of my new articles on Wikipedia and 100% of my new open water swimmer articles over a certain period of time. They retaliated and stuff. I don't know if he is one of Katie Ledecky's over 5,000 sexual partners. I don't want to know. I guess I'll state this about this channel and my life in general. I am boring. Chad and I are boring. I've mentioned this before. We do sweet, sweet loving, which is belly to belly, face to face, him on top of me. Boring. Okay? And yeah, that's it. And so we don't do anything not boring, and we don't like oral nor anal. We don't do either of those things, and we don't really want to hear about that. We don't want to see it. We don't want to hear it, and we don't really want to hear about it or nor talk about it. Kind of just, we're boring. We accept that, and we accept our place in the world, that kind of thing. So I don't know if this is one of those people or not. And what this person does, what is the type of misconduct here? The misconduct is I will make a new page, and this is ongoing. So the last attack on one of my new articles was 12 January 2023. So they have attacked 7 of my articles and 1 article that I made a talk page for. So they have attacked Maximus Williamson, 2022 US Open Swimming Championships, Javier Ruiz Sanchez, Luis Barros, Nicholas Sloman, Ari Mitsui, Flynn Southam, and Kyle Lee. In those articles, the only one I did not create was Flynn Southam. I did submit an article for creation for it, and I made the talk page for that article. So he's targeted a bunch of my pages. I called him out on the misconduct on a talk page, and then he retaliated or it's not technically retaliation, it's retaliatory because it's seeking revenge for me calling them out for their misconduct. Yeah, being brave, I know. And so they, of course, escalated, like, well, misconduct vandalizers do. And a textbook example of retaliatory action and behavior taken on me, or the person who calls them out for the misconduct. So the textbook would not be me, it'd be them attacking the person who's called them out on it. So this person has done that. The type of misconduct, they'll come through and they'll introduce formatting inconsistencies, change the date formatting to whatever they want, even if it's not consistent with reality. And then they say, this is all according to the manual of style, and provide a link to the manual of style. I click on the manual of style. So this person is very lacking in intelligence on their editing. So I click on the manual of style. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what I did wrong. They have changed the formatting of the article, which I wrote, which was actually, but per example, provided in the manual of style, I did it correct. They done vandalized it. They changed it to something that is wrong and no longer in accordance to the manual of style, but they say, it's this, look at this. So I go and look at it and I'm like, you liar, right? So this person lies. And then, right, because the manual style literally has not said to do what this person does. And so it's not there. So I'm like, okay, change it back. Then the person's like, don't do that. Or they say, it should be dated like this. But in reality, sports are treated differently in the international competition scene. So this person has zero understanding of how international sports work. So they get the date formatting wrong. So I was just like, okay. And then how do we know that it's a liar and this person is doing it intentionally, right? How do we know it's misconduct? Well, the key, I think the big, this person is out here to hurt these people, was when they signed their editing, so user Tony1 is not their real name. They signed on the talk page with a name other than their username and other than their real name. But they said it was this name. Like, they linked to this, but did not say, they provided a fake name on top of this username. So it was like, they lied about their freaking username, right? Just like dishonesty upon dishonesty that's caked on fakeness, right? Caked on, it's a liar caked on liar. Or what, liar caked on liar. So, okay, just like change it back. So that's what I've done, is just change it back. And I'm also addressing, so that's the vandalism type is trashing articles, retaliatory actions against me not editing Katie Ledecky's page after she set a world record. I don't know if or when this will end, but I've started calling it out on talk pages and listing every page they have attacked of mine since 8 November 2022, since this started, and the Flynn Southam page, which I made the talk page for. So that's how I've addressed it, is let's just put it out there. Let's call them out. And instead of calling them out by name on the user talk pages, I am calling them out by timestamp they made the vandalism, which I think is better, because if they vandalize a page more than once, like they did with Javier Ruiz Sanchez, I can call them out twice, kind of thing. So timestamps. They don't, so considering they don't even sign with their real username, they timestamp might, I don't know if they have multiple personality disorder or what. I don't know. Up next,